Analysts, biggest challenges asked and answered. So thank you for all the folks who messaged me privately or who said something on the post that we put up there about the biggest challenges that you are having. Now, I've worked with ICP, BJA, ANALYST, NHTSA, all over the globe, right? Traveling from, police agency to police agency, working with multiple analysts, multiple analytical units, virtually and in person. And I can tell you over the last 10 or so years in traveling and the last 20 years in the industry, I can tell you that what the analysts face are very similar across the globe, right? Across the globe, our issues, our challenges in implementing effective analytical strategies are very similar. I just finished teaching a tactical course through DDAC, through TechStart rather, and all of the folks who are in these classes, they're struggling with the same thing. Hundreds and hundreds of analysts and supervisors struggling with the same thing. So we're gonna walk through the 5 biggest challenges in law enforcement analysis and solutions to them. So the 5 biggest challenges, if you are a chief, if you're an executive, implementing analysis, you want to pay attention to these. If you are the analyst doing all of the analysis, you also want to pay attention because your supervisors want you to bring solutions to the table, right? Are you trying to go to work and you have no data? And they say, you're the analyst, but we're not going to give you the data, right? Data quality must be a priority. Now, here's the solution. So data quality is a problem, and we can go through 100 different data quality issues that you face: duplicated reports, bad information, missing information, unreliable information, late information. And that's just from your agency. Never mind all the other data that you have access to, right? So the data quality, the data accessibility, a lot of analysts simply cannot get their data out of their system. So these are 2 major issues: data quality and data access, all right? And so the number one thing you need to know is the why you're there, what you're supposed to be doing. Your job as an analyst, and a bunch of you are analysts here, your job as an analyst is to provide actionable reporting, actionable analysis, so that your officers, detectives, patrol can succeed. So how the heck can you provide actionable analyses if you don't have access to the data, right? If you don't have access to the data, or if you have access to dirty data. You might not believe this, but there are many, many agencies that I go into physically or virtually, and they don't have access to their data. They have an RMS system, a records management system. They have a CAD system, a computer-aided dispatch system like 911, right? So they have these systems, and then their police agency says, go in the same way our officers go in to write the report. That's not analysis. That's not access to your data, right? Unless you have a robust analytical system, like I think Renee has some really great analytical product that her agency purchased where it pulls the data out and does it for them. Unless that's you, chances are, direct access to you or access to your interface, your RMS or CAD interface is not going to be enough. You need access to all of your data. You need to be able to say, in the last 5 years, here's how many burglaries we've had with a button click. You need to be able to say, and the pattern of these burglaries is commercial burglaries are being hit mostly in the evening hours on Fridays and Saturdays in this particular hotspot. Okay, quick and easy. That's your job. That's your job, right? So what happens when you don't have access to your data? I've worked with hundreds, I want to say thousands at this point, police agencies, where we go into the back end, we draw the data out through a free connection that Microsoft offers. It's called ODBC, and we dump the data into Microsoft Access, where we generate a bunch of automated reports, right? So that at any point in time, you can say there were, X amount of aggravated assaults in the downtown area, which is an increase to the average of the last 5 years, right? You set up those automated systems in Microsoft Access, or some other great program that you purchase, or if you don't have money, in Microsoft Access, right? If you don't have quality data, if you have big data issues and you don't have access to your data, that's where you need to start. That's where you need to start. And so there's a couple of resources that I want to give you to learn exactly what to do, because small agencies are going to be different than big agencies. Sophisticated agencies are going to be different than less sophisticated agencies. Agencies with 30 analysts are going to be a lot different than agencies with 1 analyst, right? So the solutions might vary based on, the type of agency that you belong to. But it needs to happen. This needs to happen. So if you are sitting there cleaning all your data all day long, that's not what your job is, right? And if you're saying to yourself, well, I can't produce analytics because I don't have any good data, so I need to sit and clean it, wrong again, right? It's an agency responsibility. You are not cleaning toilets anymore, okay? You're not cleaning toilets anymore. It's an agency responsibility. So the couple of resources that I'm going to give to you are going to walk you through what you need to be successful, right? On part 3, it's called Connectivity, Why Do I Need It? Listen to that video. Listen to that video, click on the little video links, and get the words that you need to share with your IT staff, with your vendor, and with your chief. Listen to that video if you need connectivity. So thank you, Ria just added the link right in there so y'all have access to it. It's free. It's NHTSA is the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, and they partnered with me and ANALYST last year to build out this entire series for all of you, and it's free. So go to the link that Ria has for you there and look at part 3, which is connectivity. Why do I need it? So that's get yourself either connectivity or another source of access, right? And that module will go through several different kinds depending on what kind of agency you are, okay? Data quality tips. Okay, so, data quality is huge, is important, and you absolutely must have systems. I'm going to repeat, systems in place for data quality. This does not mean Renee is fixing all the reports herself. This does not mean that Gabrielle is fixing all the reports herself. What this means is that you are creating systems within your agency to make improvements, right? To make improvements. That's where to start. Data access and data quality. So we can't even talk about data analysis until you know that your data is quality, until you know that you have access to your data, period. And the type of access you get, whether it's back-end access or whether it's a great export, that's all going to be described in that video, and you decide what's right for you based on the size of your agency and different qualifiers. So the second piece of it is data quality tips for analysts. So there's also a video in that series that talks about data quality tips, and that's 100% free. You can go in there. I think it might be video 5 or something like that. So you can click on there around data quality tips like you've never seen them before. It's going to help you identify your top 5 data quality issues and develop a strategy to kind of chip away at them, right? Create systems to chip away at them, not you cleaning them, to create systems. And it's going to give you ways to create systems. Presentations to your academy, what that can look like, sitting with your sergeants who get promoted, what conversations should you have with them, what would they feel like, look like, to have those conversations and so forth. So the number one issue that analysts face is data access and data quality. And so the first resource is that analytical series link, and then data quality tips for analysts. What we've done is we've created this analyst bundle that has 10 different resources, and many of you grabbed it and snapped it up when it was free. Right now, the bundle is actually a few dollars, so it includes everything that you need to know. And one of the key pieces of the bundle is the data quality piece. So that's the number one issue analysts face, is data quality and data access. You need to start there. I can't stress it enough. You need to start with owning and accessing your data. So if you haven't already got this, get this. You can get it on Amazon. It's just a little bit more expensive. If you go directly to my site, it's $19.99, and you can grab the book, and you get all the links in the book for free as well, which is wonderful. So all 10 of those things are in the book, and it'll give you a direct link to the private version of them, which you will not see unless you own the book, right? So it brings you to the back end. So analysts are not data cleaners, right? We need to train our officers on purpose. We need to work with supervisors, identify problems, don't fix them, and work with vendors. And the tools, the links that Ria's sending you is showing you exactly how to do that. So stop identifying problems and not solutions. Your chief, your captain, they don't want to hear all the problems. They want you to give them solutions. And I'm giving them to you. I'm telling you where they're located. So Look at these things, find the solutions, be innovative, be the CEO of crime analysis, be the CEO of your life, and own your role. Okay, so that's the problem number one problem. The number two problem is valuing crime analysis as a profession, right? Versus being an administrative assistant or a jack of all trades, right? So how do I get valued as a crime analyst? Are you saying to yourself, I don't even know if they read my report, my bulletins. I don't even know. I never hear anything. And I never know if it's of value to them. Is anyone in the boat where you're just like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know if what I am doing is providing impact. So if that's you are the second biggest thing that analysts struggle with. And I'm going to give you some advice here, right? From 20 years in the field, 10 years teaching this all over the world, I'm telling you, these are the things you want to do. Number one, value yourself first. Stop looking to your chief, to your supervisors, to other people to tell you that you're valuable. Know your value first, all right? The second thing is show up as your best self with a CEO mindset. Even if you are just brand new, you must show up with a CEO mindset. A CEO is thinking about systems. You're thinking about longevity. You're thinking about how to create, successful operations. You're really stepping it up from I'm just the receiver and being reactive to being proactive. That's what I'm asking you to do, is put on that CEO mindset. The third piece of finding your value of I don't know if I'm valuable, right? Is you must be the innovative solution finder. I want you to take a note of that, write it down somewhere. I am the innovative solution finder that my police agency needs. You are it. You take ownership of your role. You are the solution finder. So if you have a problem in your agency, if you have a problem in your analytical function, you solve the problem, right? You go to the training, you do the YouTube research, whatever it is you need to do, you figure it out, bring solutions to your agency, and, solutions to your agency. For the supervisors out there, you really want, in terms of providing structural value, right? There are key things that you can do as a supervisor. You can create a vision statement for your analytical function, like that says we are fully integrated into the operations of our agency as providers of valuable information. And when you write your vision and when you write your policies and procedures, a lot of analysts make this or supervisors rather make this big mistake. They write a policy that says what crime analysis is and what crime analysis is going to do. But they don't say what's missing is how the police agency can use crime analysis. So they say crime analysis provides support, which I hate that word. They provide analytical support for X, Y, and Z, including bulletins, detective summaries, X, Y, and Z. But what we don't do is we don't say, and patrol will utilize bulletins produced on a weekly basis for deployment strategizing. What it doesn't say is detectives will use information. Every time a detective has a pattern, they will go to crime analysis and use their information in their investigation. So if the supervisors are listening to this, I want you to develop your vision statement to be fully integrated into the operations as a key component of the strategic operations, and then build out the policies to really say what analysis will do, but then how the agency will use analysis. Instruct folks on how they can use them. So for those of you who, there's a couple of resources. If this is an area of growth for you, there's a couple of resources. We're starting a new class with the International Association of Crime Analysts called Optimizing Your Analytical Function. And in that course, it's a 12-week course. We have, I think, 7 people registered. We have only 12 spots, maybe, I think it is. I forget what the number is. But that's a 3-month, a 12-week program where you can get everything you need to build analytical function at your agency. I teach it every quarter, and we just wrapped up quarter 4, so we're going into quarter 1 of 2022. So if you need to build policies, procedures, if you need to build retention strategies, if you need all of those things, that's a great course to take. It's self-paced. You get once a week you get stuff, right? So IACA, if you go to IACA.net, they have their courses, and the course is called Optimizing Analytical Infrastructure. Optimizing Analytical Infrastructure. So you can find that. The second resource that I have for you, if you struggle with your value, or if you struggle with some of the policies, procedures, retention strategies, job descriptions, all that fun stuff, in our RG leadership program, we do also focus a lot on that. We give you tools and templates to design policies, procedures, as well as a bunch of other things, comp set presentations and so forth. So we give you lots of templates so that you don't have to invent this stuff for yourself. That's in our RG leadership program. So you can check that out at on our Podia account. All right. So that was number 2, the number 2 challenge that analysts face. So number 1 was data access and data quality. I just gave you a bunch of resources there. The second one is, am I valued, right? And I've given you multiple action, right, steps to take. And then the IACA course called Optimizing Analytical Infrastructure, that if this is a missing component for you, make sure these are done well. Join there. And then also our RG leadership program is going to give you all the tools, all the templates, all the accountability, and all the consulting for your entire year to make sure that it's implemented well, that your analysts are operating well, and that you have the leadership skills that you need to really, create that structure. The number 3 problem that we see analysts, the number 3 challenge that analysts face is buy-in. Who here struggles with buy-in? Who here says, oh my God, I don't even know. They don't believe in crime analysis, or the patrol never communicates with us. Who here struggles with buy-in with patrol, command staff, or your detectives? I have a feeling it might be just a couple of you struggling with buy-in. This is a huge challenge for agencies all over the world, especially those who are just beginning their analytical units. Their officers, their detectives, their commanders will say, we're just going to do things the way we always did them. It was fine the way we always do them. Or, you're just the analyst. How can you tell me what to do? Buy-in is a challenge, right? The first thing is, creating buy-in must be a focused effort. Do not go with the flow. Do not go with the flow, okay? I repeat, do not go with the flow. You must be intentional. You must be very intentional about how you build relationships and create buy-in within your agency. That's the first thing. The second thing is, you must be persistent in nurturing those relationships. Persistent in nurturing those relationships and sharing, wait for it, the why. Sharing the why of analytics, okay? I wrote some notes down here. Establishing a feedback loop. How that is priority. You must establish a feedback loop so that truly the information can cycle. So that when I ask you as an analyst or as a supervisor, which one of your products was most successful, you could easily say to me, this bulletin produced these results. This analysis produced this arrest. This product or comp set presentation or whatever it is produced this. Establishing a feedback loop, you need to know the results of your products. And so establishing a feedback loop is absolutely critical. And so, I get it that it's easier said than done. So we have some tools for you. Are y'all ready for some tools? Because I know that buy-in and relationship building is a challenge. This is something that, as I coach analysts, this is something that they are working on a regular basis. So I have a couple of tools for you. We have, tools. We have, some of them are free. There's this funky thing about free and not free, right? If it's free, it's good. Here's the thing. I'm telling you what the good products are. I don't care if they're free or not. I'm going to tell you about the ones that work. Right? So you can have 1,000 free tools and none of them work and they're useless. So what I'm doing here is I have a combination of resources for you that are paid and free because I'm telling you that these are the ones that work. Okay? And so don't get caught up on cost. If you want success, sometimes you have to make an investment. Sometimes you need to make that investment. You need to make that investment in yourself. So we have a product called the 10 Strategies for Building Buy-in and Influence. And that gives you physically 10 strategies. So you can like check them, all y'all who like check boxes, you can just check those little boxes off as you go through the list and create buy-in. And then we also have how to build relationships, because some people don't know how. They don't know how to build relationships. They're so busy in their office, right? And they're like, I don't have time. We have another document that tells you exactly how. And there's 2 ways to get the document. First, you can grab the book, and it provides you the links to all the bundle stuff is in here, and it's free. All right, but you got to get the book first, and you can go to excellenceinaanalytics.com and get the book there. It's $20, right? Well worth the investment. Get it for your team. The second way to get it is to go to our website. Is to go to donreby.podia.com, and there's a packet called the Analyst Toolkit, or the Analyst Bundle rather. And so the Analyst Bundle is a cost bundle, but it has 10 different tools in there for analysts. And in the 2 tools that we're talking about here, we're talking about building relationships, and we're talking about the 10 strategies for buy-in. Both of those are in that bundle. All right. So if you already got the bundle from the previous kind of challenges that we were talking about, it's all in there, right? So that's a big challenge, creating buy-in, and how do we do that? And so we give you strategies to actually do that. So the 4th biggest challenge that analysts have, is, what the heck do I need to do every day as an analyst? So some of you are trying to get into analysis, and you might be asking yourself, what's it going to really be like when I'm in an analyst seat? Like, what do I actually do? What do I do every day? And how do I serve? And, what's my role? What's my responsibility? And so also in that analyst bundle, there's something that's called 5 things that analysts must do every day. And it talks about developing systems. It talks about analyzing your data every day, producing actionable reports, building partnerships, and developing yourself professionally. So in our RG program, so we have RG and RG leaders, right? RG is for analysts. RG leaders is for our supervisors or soon-to-be supervisors, or people who want to step up into their leadership. Maybe they don't have a supervisor title yet, but they want to be there someday. So in our regular RG program for analysts, we walk you through this completely. How to develop your systems, how to analyze your data. We give you training and tools, Access, Excel, PowerPoint, fundamentals, that's in PowerPoint. We give you how to think critically. We give you a professional development roadmap where you assess your skills, and we devise a plan for you to reach the skills that you need to be doing the things that you need to do every day. So what do analysts need to do every day? You need to develop your systems. You need to analyze data every day. I said it. You need to read your reports every day. You just do, depending on your agency size. So get the bundle, or the RG program, your coach will actually walk with you through exactly what you need to do every single day. But in general, the basic things are: get your systems up and going, analyze your damn data. Systems, I mean threshold analyses, I mean automated processes, all that stuff, right? And we teach all of that in our RG program, Rising Genius program. Build partnerships, develop professionally, and so forth. So there's 5 key things that you all need to do. And if you're not an analyst yet, start doing the 5 things, right? You won't be able to read your report, but you will be able to build the skills that you need to build the systems and develop the relationships and all that. And so in that sense, the RG program can help you. So there are 5 things that analysts need to do every day. Beyond that, it really depends. It really depends on the type of analyst you are. Whether you're an intel analyst with the FBI or a local agency, whether you're a strategist, a strategy analyst, maybe you're a sex offender registry or a sex offender analyst. Like, there's all kinds of different things that you could do, tactical, strategic, operations, yada, yada. So there's 5 things that most analysts need to do every day. And then beyond that, our coaches help guide you as to the other things that you need to really pay attention to. So the 5th thing, the final and 5th thing that we're going to wrap today's session up with is I don't know enough. Well, actually, we have 2 more announcements, but I don't know enough as an analyst. Okay. I just want you to take a breath right now and recognize you are enough. You do not know everything because you're not supposed to know everything. okay? You do not know everything because you have a growth mindset, that you are always learning, but you are enough. So I want to start there. So when you have these thoughts in your head that I'm not good enough to be an analyst, that I'm not good enough to be there, or I'm new, I don't know enough, or whatever it is, get that out of your head. Get it out of your head. You are enough, and you have a growth mindset, so you're learning and growing on a regular basis. You're investing your time, your money, your energy into your own growth. The second thing is, have a CEO mentality, right? If you think you don't know enough as an analyst, a CEO who doesn't know enough would do what? Find resources, find a mentor, find a program that's going to get you to the level that you want to be, right? So think like a CEO. There is a new product that we have that we just came out with called Building Professionalism and Confidence. Building Professionalism and Confidence, it's a 4-part series that really gives you confidence in law enforcement analytics. So it talks about leadership of self, because we always focus on showing up as your best self, right? The videos are about 5 to 15 minutes long, and then there's materials that go along with it. But it's a 4-part series that's delivered every 3 days to you, right? So if you want to start 2022 off well, this is a great way to do it. And it talks about defining your superpowers. It talks about leadership of self. It talks about building your confidence with different techniques, right? And then public speaking strategies, because all analysts need to be able to speak, okay? So if you feel like you don't know enough as an analyst, it's a confidence issue, okay? No analyst knows everything. We all have a growth path, okay? Some seasoned ones might know a little bit more about systems or whatever it might be, but you are absolutely enough. But you gotta have growth on your mind. That's the CEO mindset. How can I show up as my best self? That means that you are building in professional development every single week. You are listening to podcasts. You are developing your skills. You are applying what you learn. You are coming to programs like the IACA or other training programs like our program at Rising Genius, at Excellence in Analytics rather, our RG programs, right? So building confidence and professionalism, you can help rise the field and yourself by doing the things that are in that training. I'm going to repeat that. You can rise yourself and the entire field if you do the things that are in that training, okay? And it shows you how to do them. So that's a great 4-part series. I encourage you to take a look at that. So the 5 key things that analysts struggle with: data access and quality. Am I valued as an analyst? Creating buy-in. What do I need to do every day? And I don't know enough as an analyst. And we also gave you a ton of resources to, target all of those key things. Now, I have 2 other things to share with you. I want to thank Jen, Ria, Joe Christie, Don Chappelle, and all the others who sent me private messages and who commented on the post where we said, what are the biggest challenges you have? Thank you for sharing your thoughts, because that's how we built this particular session. So thank you to all of you. There's quite a bit of you who shared some thoughts around that. So when we think about the 5 biggest challenges, that analysts have, building relationships, seeing yourself as a CEO, creating the best possible you, these are all challenges that analysts can face. And so, grab this. It's such an easy read. It was like this big, and my publicist made me make it this big. It's a really easy read. And what it does is it allows you to grow in each of the core areas that analysts need to grow. Okay, and then it provides you links. Like in here are all these links to get almost everything that we talked about 100% free. So you click on the link, right, in the book, the e-version or this book, you type it into the computer, and you can get all of the bundle products that we talked about for free. If you don't want to deal with reading it and you just want the bundle, you want all the resources, then you can go to our website and grab the bundles. A couple of things that I've shared with you that can really move you in to success in 2022. And I'd love for you to plug in. What's your favorite so far? Is it the book? Is it the strategic planning series? Is it the analyst bundle that has all of the tools and techniques for you? Is it the building professionalism and confidence tool that we have? Is it our RG programs, leadership or RG analyst programs, right? Is it the IACA resource that we offered? Is it the NHTSA resource that we offered? I mean, we gave you a lot of stuff, right? So what is it that is jumping out at you as this is my next step? I want to hear it. I want to hear what you're going to do. Isabel is excited to check out the book. Fantastic, Isabel. I can't wait to see how you enjoy it. Yeah, and it'll give you all the links that you need. So definitely check out the book. And it's really just exactly. It actually mirrors our Rising Genius program. So it kind of takes all of the key components of it and builds it into one little digestible book to get you started. So I'm excited for where you all are going next after this. And, these are the analyst's biggest challenges. And now I've given you a lot of solutions. So if I were you, if I were the analyst receiving this, if I were the supervisor receiving this, I hope, that you took some notes, go back and rewind this when we're done and grab some notes about the 5 key things. Because if you can knock these 5 biggest challenges out of your life, if you can knock these 5 things out, you can really be a high quality analyst that gets promoted, that does the service, that is considered, the high level person, producing results. These are the key things that analysts struggle with. Hundreds and hundreds of analysts all over the world. I just got finished teaching through the International Association of Prime Analysts, building, optimizing analytical infrastructure. And, and their challenges are the same. The biggest things are the dirty data. How do I deal with it? What systems do I put in place? How do I deal with buy-in? We develop buy-in. You're not alone. You're not alone in these biggest challenges. But what you do need to know is you need to be the solution finder. Be the catalyst of change. Be the solution finder. Don't just squawk about the problems. Be the solution finder. I've given you multiple solutions. And if you're saying to yourself, Dawn, that's so much, I just want to work with a coach like you or one of your team members to just get me there, then reach out to me at the end of this. Send a message to me in my inbox. I'll go and I'll check it out and we can hop on the phone and see exactly what the next steps are for you.